Good morning, student. In previous lecture, we were studied about the controlling torque and torque to weight ratio, and there are two methods of providing controlling torque. First one is a spring control, and second one is a gravity control. Spring control is we studied about the spring control in previous lecture. Today we will discuss about the gravity control. Second system is nothing but the gravity control. It uses gravity force to produce the controlling torque. For controlling torque, it uses the gravity force. It uses what? Gravity force. Then control weight and balancing weight are attached to the spindle. In gravity control, the control weight and the balancing weight both are attached to the spindle. In gravity control, suppose the deflecting torque causes pointer movement in clockwise direction. The control weight component W sin theta act in opposite direction to deflecting torque. This component is produced due to gravity effect, hence it is known as the gravity control effect. We called it as a gravity control effect because this component is produced due to the gravity effect. This is the diagram of the gravity control mechanism. Okay, the balancing weight is provided for mechanical balance and for zero setting. The control and balancing weight are adjustable. Control and balancing weight, here are balancing weight and control weight, both weight are the adjustable. These can be taken toward the spindle. These two weight can be taken toward the spindle for spindle or away from the spindle. Okay, threads are provided for this purpose. Here we see the threads are used because for balancing the control and balancing weight. Okay, controlling torque, here your controlling torque is given as the W sin theta. There are some advantages of the gravity control. First advantage is no effect of the temperature. There is no effect of temperature on gravity control. Second is effective method of controlling torque. Third is adjustment can be done easily and longer life. There are some disadvantages of the gravity control system. First is it has to be used in vertical position only, so suitable vertically mounted instrument. This system can be used vertically only. Okay, the control weight add to the weight of moving system. Here control weight is added to the weight of the moving system. Then third is it is costly and maintenance is very complicated of the gravity control system. This is all about the gravity control system. After that we will study about the third torque. This is nothing but the damping torque. What is the main purpose of the damping torque? Damping torque is necessary for better performance, better response. For better response of instrument. For what? Better response of the instrument it is necessary. Then what is the need of the damping torque? The deflecting damping torque. The deflecting torque, that is the TD, and the controlling torque TC operate in the opposite direction. As we studied in previous lecture, the deflecting torque and the controlling torque both are operate in the opposite direction. Suppose a current of 2 ampere is measured by the ammeter. If the current of 2 ampere is measured by the ammeter, the deflecting torque proportional to the 2 ampere is produced on moving system. So pointer moves from 0 position towards the 2 ampere position. If this is your scale, this is 0, 1, 2, then your pointer firstly is on the 0 and it will move from 0 to 2 position. Okay. The movement of deflecting torque is produced. Controlling torque also act, because controlling torque means what? It operates in the opposite direction of the deflecting torque. Okay. The movement deflecting torque is produced and controlling torque also act. The pointer settle down to the final steady state deflection. Your pointer is settled down to final steady state condition. Then final steady state condition is nothing but the 2 ampere. Deflecting after a small duration of the time. What? The pointer settle down to final steady state deflection after the small duration of the time. The time taken from 0 to 2 ampere, that is the duration time, and pointer is settled down at the 2 ampere because of your damping torque. During this time t, the pointer oscillate to and the pointer is oscillate to and from about 2 ampere mark. A considerable time, that is considerable time is nothing but t. The pointer oscillate, it wasted while taking reading. The time which is taken for reading to move your pointer from 0 to 2 ampere, that time, that considerable time t is wasted while taking the reading. These oscillations around final steady state position are undesired. These oscillations should be damped by some means, hence the damping torque is essential. Damping torque is essential for what? The oscillation should be damped by some means, hence the damping torque is essential in your measuring instrument. The damping torque damp these oscillations and bring the pointer to the final steady state position, that is the 2 ampere, in least possible time. That is, it will reduce the t, it will reduce the time taken for the reading. Due to damping torque, the oscillation are absorbed. The damping torque should be adjusted properly, else the time required for taking the reading will be more. It will also affect the dynamic of the moving systems. The moving system we studied in previous lecture. First is suspension, second is taut suspension, third is the pivot and jewel bearing. Your damping torque or the time taken for the deflecting of the pointer, it will affect the dynamic of your moving systems. There are different conditions of the damping. First condition is under damp instrument. Under damp instrument. First is nothing but the under damp instrument. If damping torque, your damping torque is less than optimum value, the oscillation will be more. If your damping torque is less than the optimum value, then your oscillation will be more. The time required to attain final steady state position will be large. If your time which is required for attaining the final steady state position is large, at that time your damping torque is less and optimum value is more. The instrument is said to be under damp. Second is over damp. In over damp, your damping torque is more than your optimum value. The pointer gives sluggish response, that is slow response. The time required to attain final steady state position will be T2, and the instrument is over damp. The oscillations are absorbed but pointer response is very slow. In over damp, your pointer response is very slow. Then next is critically damp. Third is critically damp. In critically damp condition, your damping torque is adjusted to optimum value. The pointer reaches final steady state position is least time. Your pointer reaches its final steady state position in critical damp situation very fast in very least time. The instrument is said to be critically damp. Here we require T1, here T2, and here is a T3. Hence we can say T3 is less than T2 is less than T1. This is all about the damping torque, and different condition of the damping. In under damp, your damping torque is less than optimum value. In over damp, your damping torque is more than optimum value, and in critically damp, the damping torque is adjusted to optimum value. That is all about the different condition of the damping. Then after that we will study about the method of providing the damping. Next is method of providing the damping. The damping can be provided with the following method. First is air friction damping. First is your air friction damping. In your air friction damping, it make use of compressed air pressure to produce the damping torque. This is the diagram of the rod piston arrangement. This is the rod piston arrangement, and this is nothing but your radial vane arrangement. Okay, it make use of compressed air pressure to produce the damping torque. When deflecting torque act pointer moves in clockwise direction. If your pointer is moving clockwise direction, causing downward movement of the piston, it will causes the downward movement of that piston. Then the pointer's to and fro motion, that is oscillation, is transferred to the piston via the rod. The pointer oscillation is transferred. The piston also moves up. This piston is also moves up and down inside the cylinder. Inside your cylinder, this piston also move up and down. When piston moves up, the air pressure is upper side. When your piston is move up, then air pressure is upper side. If piston increase, upper side of the piston increase, due to which this movement is opposed. Okay, when piston moves down, the air pressure is downside of the piston. When your piston is moved down, the air pressure is downside of the piston, and which increase due to which this movement is opposed. Okay, thus the oscillations are absorbed and the damp. Similar action take place in case of the radial vane arrangement. Similar processes act here in your radial vane arrangement. The instrument can be used in any position, that is vertical or horizontal. That is the air friction damping. Second is your fluid friction damping. This is the diagram of the fuel friction damping. In fuel friction damping, the viscous force of oil pressure produces the desired damping. In air friction, air is used. In fluid friction damping, a viscous force of oil produces the desired damping torque. In this instrument, vanes are attached to the spindle. Here we can see our vane is attached to the spindle, and it is immersed in a contain carrying oil, and that vane is immersed in the contain which carrying the oil. TD and TC causes to and fro rotation of the vanes in the oil. These are opposed due to viscous force and the viscosity. Thus oscillations are damping and damp is achieved. Here oscillations are the damping and damp is achieved. These instruments should be operated in vertical position only. This will operate in the vertical position only. This is the fluid friction damping. Simply in air friction we use air, in fluid friction we use the immersed oil, or we use the viscous oil, okay, or oil in the fluid friction damping. Here we get one vane which is immersed in that oil, and here your TD and TC causes fro rotation of the vanes in the oil. These are opposed due to the viscous force and the viscosity. Thus oscillation are the damping, and the damp is achieved in the fluid friction damping. Third is nothing but the eddy current damping. This is your third damping system, is eddy current damping. In eddy current damping we can see here we use pointer, spindle, damping vane, damping magnet, and the spindle, coil, magnet, etc. Here the Lenz law is used to produce the necessary damping in the first arrangement. In first arrangement we use the Lenz law to produce the necessary damping. In the first arrangement, a permanent magnet is placed around the rotating disc. Here we use the permanent magnet in place around the rotating disc. The permanent magnet, that is the damping magnet, this flux is cut by rotating disc. Here flux is cut by the rotating disc and the EMF is induced in it. According to the Lenz law, this EMF is opposes cause of the producing it, thus its rotation are opposed. In second arrangement, coil is wound. In second arrangement, here the coil is wound on the former. This coil is wound on the former support on the spindle. The former also rotate with the coil and it cut the flux. Your former is also rotate with your coil and it will cut the flux present around it. Flux is produced by the permanent magnet surrounding the coil. Thus EMF is induced in the former, thus oppose cause of the producing it. This is the most effective form of damping. The instrument can be used in vertical and horizontal positions. Okay. This is the third is nothing but the eddy current damping. This is most effective form of the damping and the instrument can be used in the vertical and the horizontal position.